Oh yeah, I mean, we have a young lady who works for us, works for our personal office, also works for the committee, and she got her ballot mailed to her, and 4 other ballots arrived at her apartment of people who no longer live there, or maybe never lived there. We don't know. So that is the danger when you just blanket out live ballots. You just throw them out there. That is the recipe for mischief, a recipe for problems. And frankly, we did a report on this back in the summer, put it out in September from the Judiciary Committee and the Oversight Committee, and we said all this stuff is going to happen. There's going to be chaos and confusion, which I believe is exactly what the Democrats wanted. They knew President Trump was going to win on election night, but they wanted to keep looking for and finding and counting ballots until they got over the top. And that's what we've seen play out. That's why we want to investigate it before we declare a winner. So Ohio is won outright by the president that night, your state. Pennsylvania, right next door. Yep.
To me, Georgia is looking good as well, but there's so much mischief in Pennsylvania, and that Supreme Court, that state Supreme Court decision looks very, very iffy. I have a lot of hope about Pennsylvania. What do you think?
Well, yeah, the concern I have is if you just step back and look at it in the big picture sense. If someone would have said before the election, Greg, that Republicans are going to keep the Senate, Republicans are going to gain 10 or 12 seats in the House, we're going to keep all the state legislatures in Republican control that we had before the election, and President Trump is going to get 9 million more votes than he got in 2016, but he's still going to come up short. If someone would have said that, you said you're crazy. But that's exactly what played out. And so there's a reason 72 million Americans think something doesn't smell right here. That's why we got to look at it. And why is it seemed that every state that kept counting on election night, the president won? But all these other swing states that were close, they took a pause in the count, and those all seem to be the ones that he lost. Why is that? So there's just fundamental questions we have. There's nothing wrong with following the Constitution, following the law, and getting to the bottom of it and making sure that the integrity is there in our election process.
When you talk to Democrats on Capitol Hill, is there kind of not an arrogance, but a knowingness that we pulled a fast one here? You know, they're not necessarily going to say it. You've been in politics a long time. Is there consciousness of the mischief, or are they denying it to themselves and to you and everybody else?
I haven't talked to any personally, but my gut tells me the premise of your question is right. I think they knew when they set out on this whole mail-in focus. First time we've ever run an election like this. First time we had all these ballots out there. I think they knew where this was going to lead, and that's why they did it. And of course, they used the virus as the reason for doing it. But I think it's a real concern. And when you get one person getting 4 additional ballots mailed to their place of residence, that is a big problem. But the big question is, why don't the Democrats want to find out? If they really want election integrity, why don't they want to? Remember, back to the impeachment, they told us that this whistleblower that no one ever got to see, this anonymous whistleblower with no firsthand knowledge, who was biased against the president and worked for Joe Biden, they told us, you have to believe this guy. And so much so that we're going to try to remove the president from office. And now they're saying, oh, don't worry about it. Just trust the election. We nothing to look at here, even though we've heard about all these irregularities that Jason just talked about. No, nothing to look at here. Just keep moving on. That to me, I think, is a real concern. And I think so many Americans share that concern. And that's why they want us to continue to find out what exactly took place.
In 15 seconds, Congressman, he had a great team during impeachment. Are you confident that the president has the legal minds around him and the political talent to keep this fight on?
Yeah, I am. And look, we just got to follow the process. December 14th, we got till December 14th to the Electoral College meets. He's got a great team around him, as he's had. That's why he had such a successful first term. Let the process play out. Follow the Constitution. Follow the law.